Hi everybody, it's Joni here. Welcome back for another painting tutorial in acrylics. Today I'm going to show you how to paint a rainy window looking out to some pretty violet flowers. So I'm working on an 11 by 14 primed canvas and I painted it black. You can use any black that you like, let it dry, and let's go over the colors I'll be using today for this tutorial. And feel free to use any colors you like and change it up if you don't have the same ones I'm using or you prefer to use other ones. I will have a full list below this video of all the colors, brushes, links to Patreon and my YouTube channel. I have two channels, a watercolor channel as well. We have titanium white here, lemon yellow, phthalo green, phthalo blue, Mars black, and luminous violet. The brushes I'll be using today are a number 2 liner brush, a 1 or 3 round brush, 50 filbert, and a 1-inch mop brush. So we're going to begin this painting by working on the sky background first, and then we're going to come in with some blurry flowers, and then we're going to come in with some raindrops on the window, and then we'll add a little flower here in the foreground inside. So let's start with a little bit of white and a little bit of green, a little bit of blue. Okay, just a little bit of paint right here. Just gonna apply it right here, and I'm gonna add a little bit of water to the canvas as well. That way I can get a nice blending with the mop brush, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. It's a really fun technique. I'm gonna be a little more generous here with the white. Okay, then I'm going to take some more blue, green, and a little bit of black. And I'm going to make this darker here. And then back to a little bit of white. Down here. Before this dries, I'll take my dry and clean mop brush and just go over in little circles, just smoothing out all those rough lines, giving us a blurry, out of focus background. Apply some more water, and I'm going to come in with a little bit more blue and green. Then I'm going to pick up some violet, a little bit of white. Haven't washed my brush out. I just want to have all those colors in there. Okay, I'm going to take some yellow and green here. And then back over to softening. Okay, I'm going to rinse these brushes out. I'm going to mist again and take a little bit of white again and just directly go over this, making it a little bit brighter. It's all going to dry a little bit darker because we're painting on a black canvas. So that's why I want to come in and add a little bit more white now. And just going around in little circles to soften with a mop brush. I'm going to take just a touch of black and mix that up with a little bit of the violet and the blue, and coming off the edge here. A little spritz of water and gently go over again. Now, what I'm painting here and demonstrating are blurry trees outside the window in the distance, or it could be anything really. That's what I have in mind. Let's dry this all off and then start coming in with some details, some blurry flowers to start in the background, and then we'll start working up to our foreground. Okay, so I'm going to start with some blurry flowers. I'm going to take some white, some violet, mix those up. I'm using my round brush. You can use a little filbert brush if you want. Anything a little bigger or smaller works fine too. So we're just going to start by adding these little petals like this. And then just go over with my finger, just soften, or you can use your brush to do this. And we're not out to make a really detailed, clear image. This is blurry and fuzzy. You can take a little bit of water as well and blur that up. And then I'll take a little bit of black and add that in the center. A little bit of yellow and violet. Tap a little bit of that in there. Add a little bit more white and yellow. I'm going to take my liner brush, some black, a little bit of water, a little bit of green in there too. Let's just soften that a bit. And we're going to add a few little stems. And just some little oval shapes. And I'm just going to run my finger over it to make it look blurry. This could be little pieces of grass and leaves as well. Okay, then I'm going to start adding some more here. Take a little bit of green, yellow. And then I'm going to create some blurry areas over here. A little bit of white in there. Make some softer colors. Then as I put that on, I'm going to soften to blur it up. I'll take a little bit of that light pink. Rinse my brush out. Come back to that deep green. Have lots of patience when you're loading and using the liner brush. You need to go back for water quite regularly. Had a little drip there. That may work to our advantage for this painting. I think actually I'm going to be having some raindrops, water dripping down in that spot anyways. Okay, I'm going to go back over to my round brush, get some of that pink on there. Add a little bit more. And just a little bit more without the white. Okay, I'm going to make some more blurry, out of focus flowers here. Pick up that rust color again. The yellow and violet. A little bit of black. Add that to the bottom. Little scoop in there, tap and dab. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, the center of the flower. Back over to that rust color, and I'm just going to bring that under here. Just a little loop under those petals. A little bit of dark green. And we'll just add some leaves here. Blurry looking, green, black, and yellow. Oh, let's pull in a little bit more yellow there. I'm going to add some violet in here with some white. I'm going to just hold my brush like this and gently go around in little circles. I'm just going to soften. Add a little bit of water to your finger. Take a little bit of white in there. Going to soften with one of these mop brushes that's a little bit damp from washing it out. Okay, let's start to paint some water drops now. So I'm going to start off with some dark spots. I'm going to use some black and some violet. You can use any small brush for this, any little detailer brush. Something with a small end to it will help. Okay, so we're going to come down here and start on this side, and this is going to be a little wiggly. I'm just using my pinky here to guide my hand. I know that it's dry, so I can do that. Add a little bit of water to my brush, go over this again. And then add a few little dots like that. So what we're going to do is all the dark areas first. We're going to make half a circle for the top of our little raindrops for the reflective part and shadows. And then we'll add another one here. It's very similar to like painting lightning, the shape of it when the water's running down. And we went right over this green bud because that's past on the other side of the glass. Lots of different sizes, some bigger ones, some smaller ones. Some lighter ones. And bring that right over top of these flowers here, because those are behind the glass. Use a little bit more black here because it's darker on this area, so I need a darker color for it to show up. Half a circle. And then some smaller ones, just little dots and dabs. Okay, what I'll do now is dry this off and then we'll come in with our white. Okay, with a clean brush, and I've dried this off, I'm going to take some white and a little bit of water so that I can work this out And we're going to come down and just follow that dark line. I'm going to run my finger over it. And then we'll just start adding the white to these little raindrops here. Then with a little bit of blue, mix a little bit of blue up with that white, dry brush. I'm going to add a little bit inside part of the black. I'm going to take that blue, thin it out with some water. I'm going to add a little bit down here just to soften some of this white. Add a few little white dabs. So this way we get lots of different sizes. And add a little bit down there as well. I'm adding a little bit more white up here because it's already that light blue, really light blue color, so I need that to show up a little bit better. And to do that, I'm just adding more white. Now, a lot of people think that it's really hard to paint a rainy window, but I hope by watching this you guys understand the process and actually how simple it is. I'm going to take a little bit of blue over here because it's getting a little bit darker. And I'm going to add a little bit of a lighter side on the left here. I haven't painted, I think this is actually the second, only the second raindrop, rainy window painting I've ever done and shared. I should actually paint more of them because it's really beautiful to look out the window when it's raining and things are distorted, and I don't know, I think it's pretty. A lot of people don't like the rain, but I actually find comfort in it. And I know that we need it. My garden's happy. It's spring here now on our little island, and forest fire season. That's what summer is kind of meaning to a lot of people now, because there's so many forest fires these days. So the threat of that is kind of always looming around the corner, and so I'm always thankful and grateful for any little bit of rain that we get, or if we get a week straight of it, that's fine with me too. I can come and paint in my little studio, be quite cozy while it's raining, and comforted knowing that it's wetting the earth and the trees and will help with potential forest fires. Okay, I'm going to add a few little dots and dabs now to balance this out size wise for these little drops. I wonder if you guys can hear the little birds chirping outside of my studio. We actually had, I think it rained like all night here last night, so the birds are happy getting all their worms and having little bird baths out there. I'm going to add a little bit of violet hued raindrops. Now, I want to answer this question. I get this question a lot about water drops and the colors they should be. Whatever you're painting, use a little hint of that color in your highlights and your shadows. So if you're painting something that's red and black, use a little bit of, just tint your raindrops with a little bit of red. Well, you're already going to be using some black, right? But if you can just add a little hint of those colors that are already in your painting, because water is very reflective. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of water, blue, black, maybe a little bit of green in there, these colors that I've used. And I'm just going to go up and over. Make it a little bit darker over here. And then pretty quickly, we're going to come in. We're going to take a little bit of black for this one because it's really dark right here. So that'll show up better. See that? We'll lift this up, slightly outline that, give it a little bit more of a 3D effect. Now, I do have a tutorial that I did for how to paint different types of water drops, water dripping, running, different shapes of raindrops and water drops. So if I forget, which I probably will because I always forget to add the links below, just type it in your search bar wherever you're watching it. If you're watching on Patreon or YouTube, type it in the search bar, but make sure you add my name, Joni Young or Joni Young Art, to whatever you're looking for, and then you'll find it. It should pop up for you. Okay, I'm just going to take my liner brush now, add a little bit of white to it, and I'm going to go over and add a few more little bits of white here. As the color starts to dry, it fades a little bit. So you can probably see that as I've been painting away here. So it's normal to have to go back and add a little bit of extra highlights. And it's important to not get frustrated and not rush and think that everything's going to look perfect right after you apply those brush strokes. It can take time. Now, I've been painting for most of my life, and I've only now, after over 20 years of painting, well, more than that actually, way more than that. I've been painting a long time. Only now have I gotten really comfortable with painting more loosely, freely, and kind of just not caring if something doesn't work or turn out. I feel like I don't have the pressure anymore. What I have is the passion and the joy and excitement of sharing it with so many people, because painting has brought me so much healing and joy and pleasure, and I see what it does for other people as well. So I really love showing you guys how to do this. I've been teaching for many years as well. 8 years, or maybe 7 years. I think 7 years this July on YouTube. I'm going to take this kind of dark gray color, greenish gray, a little bit of water on my brush, and I'm going to wiggle up a little bit like this for another little raindrop. Some water coming down, a little bit of blue and black. Okay, then a little bit of white here. Maybe let's take a little bit of blue in there. So it's not, because it's already dark back here, I don't need bright white. Now, if your hand is a little shaky, encourage that. That's really actually helpful for painting these little raindrops and drizzling water. It's like painting branches and lightning Got a little bit more white right up here where it starts to get a little bit lighter. Now it's time to come in with our flowers in the foreground. So I'm going to start with a little bit of black and green, and right here I'm going to add a little V, and then I'm going to round it out like this on the top so it kind of looks like an upside down raindrop. Take a little bit of water, thin that out, and pull a stem down. I'm going to add another one right here. Got that deep, beautiful phthalo green in there as well. Push, wiggle, pull into the stem. Push, wiggle, pull that off. You just want your leaves to be a little wider in the middle. Okay, so we'll just have a few little flowers here. And maybe they're sitting in a little vase on the windowsill. Maybe we've just gone out and picked some flowers from outside and brought them in, or got caught in the rain and just put them in a little vase by the window. So I'm going to take a little bit of white now and mix that in. I'm going to add a little highlight here. On some of these. Now I want to dry this off before we start coming in with our petals so that we don't pick up and make mud color with all the green and the black. I'm just going to let those dry a little bit more and come in with a little bit of shadows on the top to make these raindrops stand out just a little bit more. So you get a little bit of blue in there, it's quite nice. All those colors that we've used. Add a few of those or all of them to your raindrops in your water somehow. You'll really create some nice energy and life to your paintings. Okay, so I'm going to take some violet and some white. A little bit more in there. And we're just going to paint some simple flowers. Pointy end. Push, pull in. Push, pull in. And I'm going to take more of the violet and we're going to layer, making it darker as we get into the base and stem of the flower. up a little bit of blue, mix that in. Add a little bit there, and then a little bit of black, just a touch. Clean brush, a little bit of white to make the lightest shade now. Have a little bit on the tip of your brush. And we're just gonna get the tips, little tips of those petals. For some light. Okay, so let's continue now. Take our violet. We can start with a dark base first. And then come in with a little bit of white. And a little bit of blue, violet. Bring it closer to the black. And then finish up with a little bit of black. I'm going to add a little bit more white. And then a little bit more of this beautiful violet. This color's by Holbein, if you're curious. I'm going to add some more here, maybe a little one right here. I'm going to have to go over some of those raindrops. I'm going to blur this up a little bit more back here and change the shape a little bit. Add a little bit of water if your brush starts to dry out. And a little bit more white. Get these back petals or top ones a little bit brighter. A bit more of that violet in there. Make these ones shorter. Just little dabs. It looks like they're curling over, and we've got this flower on a different angle. Again, same thing here. Pull, 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 then straight down, and then curve it over. Okay, let's add a dark base now. Violet, black, and yellow. I can mix all this up because I'm done with this color now. Use it for the center. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of yellow in there and just tap and dab for some lighter spots. I'm going to come in with a little bit of my light pink, violet color here. And just add the remaining highlights, and then this painting will be all done. Little buds there, and then I can come in with a little bit of dark green. Okay, this painting's all done. This is really fun to paint, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Have fun painting along. Be sure to check out the links below for my Patreon, where you can unlock hundreds of exclusive tutorials, all commercial free, and especially just for my Patreon members. You can connect with me one-on-one over there as well, and send in paintings that you've done and I can give you a critique if you'd like. So that's down below, and I want to wish you guys a wonderful day. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye!